My name is Terry Jones, and I am your state vice president. I have the pleasure and privilege to introduce our state president, Sarah Wofford, who will give the State of the Union address.
All right. How are you guys? Awake now? All right. Should we stand up real quick? All right. Damn. Stand up. Stand up. Stand up. Let's give ourselves a round of applause and get this started. Stand up. Get on your feet. You know I'm going to make you sit here for about 25 minutes, so you better enjoy the break while you had it. That's all I got to say. All right, so did you just say no, Miss Yelton? I'm entertaining. All right, good morning, OSEA. You can go ahead and sit back down. It feels really good to be back together, doesn't it? Yeah. Truly an OSEA family for this conference, and I just want to thank you guys for being here and making history with us. I am honored this weekend to share with you and have had the chance to stand with you as your OSEA president for another year. And what a year it has been. From some of the biggest organizing drives in OSEA history to setting the stage for the next step of our Work Shouldn't Hurt campaign, we've been loud and proud as union members, educators, and advocates. This year, our conference theme is Stand Up, Be Heard. It's a celebration of all the ways we, the people in this room, and our members across the state have made sure education workers are seen and heard. And it is a mandate for all of us to continue to stand up for what is right and speak loudly for our rights. So again, would you just rise 1 second? Come on, you can do it. You guys, I'm gonna make you calisthenics. I'm kidding. All right, stand up. Stand up. Stand up. Thank you. You can sit back down. There are so many people in our schools and around the state that can't stand up for themselves, right? So we can stand up a couple of times for them. So that's what we're going to do here today. All right, you guys, when we stand together, we are truly powerful. And as we kick off our 86th annual conference, I stand here to tell you that the state of our union is strong, and we are just getting stronger. Last year, I was able to stand on this stage and announce that our membership had increased for the first time since Janus in 2018. Today, I am excited to say that our upward momentum continues, and once again, we have more members now than we did at our last conference. That is 2 years of straight back-to-back growth, and it is really, truly a huge accomplishment. As you know, the membership declines we experienced between 2017 and 2022 were not because of a huge number of cancellations or anything our members did. It's not even because of the anti-union groups. That's right, okay. Well, that persistently work to weaken our solidarity and bargaining power. But I'll get more to them in a minute. I do have a fun nickname for them. Does anyone remember it? All right. The real problem has always been a high turnover. And I don't need to tell you that our employers are still struggling to retain staff and fill open positions. We've dealt with the short staffing for so long that it has become a self-fulfilling cycle. Those of us working in chronically understaffed programs know it's stressful. Sometimes it's outright dangerous. And that is not page 2. Makes more staff burn out and leave education for jobs with less stress and more protections. With high turnover as new employees come in, there are fewer lifetime OSCA members to welcome them. As we know, it is the one-on-one, face-to-face conversations that turn someone from a represented worker into a union member. High turnover has been one of the biggest challenges our union has faced for years, and the rate only got worse during the pandemic. It continues today and will continue until all educators receive the pay, benefits, and respect we deserve. But without a strong union, we are never going to see better pay or more respect. So, it is hands down amazing to see OSEA chapters not letting staff turnover hold us back. For the second year in a row, chapter leaders, organizing worksite organizers, and others worked incredibly hard throughout the year to reach out to every single worker in our bargaining units. We held dozens of new employee orientations. We strengthened worksite organizer programs. We held membership drives and prioritized those all one-on-one important conversations. Union building isn't easy work. All the obstacles we've faced since 2018 are still here, but we've found new ways around them, over them, and through them. We're classified, that's what we do. We have done whatever it takes to make sure that our bargaining units know about OSEA and why we do what we do and why membership matters. We have also tried something new this year, a series of intensive membership drives, or IMDs, to train OSCA activists in organizing and outreach. This week-long membership building event that brought volunteers from across the state to 3 separate chapters: Beaverton Chapter 48, North Clackamas Chapter 71, and Eugene Chapter 1. Every volunteer was trained in having face-to-face conversations with potential members and current members. We practice hard questions, reflective listening, and outreach strategies. Volunteers with less experience were paired with experienced OSCA veterans, and together we visited work sites across each district to connect with bargaining unit members who had not yet heard and not yet joined the union. Building union skills alongside OSCA members you've never met, and spending time reaching out to fellow educators to make sure they understand how OSCA fights for them and their contract rights, and how we need their membership so that we can continue to do that. I can't tell you how proud I am of the work we did during those IMDs. Hundreds of new members are now part of our union thanks to those drives. But the IMDs were not just about growing our membership in a few chapters, and they never were. They were truly a training ground for chapter organizers and activists across the state. Volunteers built skills and practiced organizing conversations. New volunteers witnessed experts at work, and longtime members shared skills with the next generation. In all, we had 112 members volunteer for one or more IMDs. These volunteers, These volunteers came from 22 different chapters. And guess what? When each IMD was over, they took their skills home from Beaverton, North Clackamas, and Eugene. And y'all spread it out across the state, sharing fresh ideas and new skills with your peers. And now those 22 chapters have highly trained member organizers with the skills and know-how to do the same kind of organizing and outreach at home. And in the months since our final IMD, OSCA chapters had 11 more membership drives. 21 of those IMD volunteers were active participants in at least one of those drives. That doesn't even count the volunteers who became worksite organizers, the ones who felt more confident asking a new colleague if they knew about OSCA, or the ones who, after hearing that classified on the other side of the state were experiencing the same issue at work, are now ready to speak up and share their own story to help make a change. That is what a union building looks like. That is solidarity. Strengthening one chapter means strengthening all of us. We're creating a ripple effect that may start small, but it will keep growing into the kind of worker power that continues to lift up all OSEA members. So thank you guys. Some of those ripples are carrying chapters to new heights. Our membership incentive program continues to inspire membership building at the chapter level. This year, we were able to tap some AFT, thank you, organizing funds to support chapter organizing, and 9 chapters took advantage of our boost funding. You used the funds for community tables, time release for site visits, bulletin boards, and much more. I followed all of your efforts closely. I'm thrilled to celebrate the chapters that made it and reached at least 70% membership by May 1st. And I'm excited for the chapters who might not quite have reached that goal, but who made membership gains that will give them the strength at the bargaining table to put them on the path to reach MIP next time around. Inclusion, outreach, and engagement continue to be priorities for OSEA because our members are our greatest strength, and we have something to contribute, and I want every single education employee to know there is a place for them in OSEA. Together, we stand taller, we speak louder, we do more, we go further, we win bigger together than we could ever do this alone. Stand up. Be heard. Stand up. Be heard. Stand up. Be heard. Just checking. I want to thank each and every single OSEA member for being part of our union and helping us do so many incredible things. This last year, everyone knows, OSEA is a members union, and that means nothing gets done unless we work together to make it happen. This room is full of people who give their time and energy to our union, and in so many ways. I want to signal out a few who go above and beyond our chapter officers, stewards, worksite organizers, bargaining team members, and activists. These OSEA superstars do some very heavy lifting in bargaining, representation, and organizing. They work every day to defend our contract rights, strengthen our union, and empower all OSEA members. Can I ask all of you, our chapter officers, our worksite organizers, our stewards, our bargaining members, and activists to please stand and be recognized? Let's make sure they hear us for their. I want to say that it's most of the room. I love it. You guys didn't know you were getting exercise this morning. We did the poker walk, then we came here. I know, we're working on it, I'm trying. All right, leaders, I've been in your shoes, and I know the work that you do is hard. Some days it is thankless. Some days it is lonely. And some days it feels like it's just too damn much. But it matters, and it makes a difference. So please remember that you make a difference for our members and for every single Oregon educator. You are the backbone of our union, and I just thank you. I want you to know that on your worst days, the days when bargaining shuts down, or you have to take on yet another responsibility, and your plate is already overloaded, you are not alone. We are all here, the State Association, the OSEA board and incredible staff, and everyone in this room to support you. Even better, there are leaders and activists in 137 other OSEA chapters who you can lean on to. You have a big statewide network of members, leaders, staff, allies, and family who are rooting for you and want to help. That's one of the reasons I began holding monthly virtual meetings for our chapter presidents. It has been so great to see so many of our presidents attend regularly, and I hope even more will join us next year. These informal meetings are a time to share important updates with you, but even more so, there is space for presidents to support one another. It's amazing to see presidents cheering each other on, problem solving together, sharing ideas, or just commiserating. Whatever is on the agenda, I always come away inspired because our chapter presidents are some of the best people I know, and there is nothing I love more than seeing y'all build each other up. But of course, chapter presidents don't work alone, do we? They rely on the rest of their executive board, their stewards, their worksite organizers, and other leaders. And so we also started holding a few trainings this year for chapter leaders, specifically focused on treasurers, membership drives, and combating anti-union disinformation. Many of you in your chapters have received mailings and emails from groups who lie about our union, try to convince our members to drop their membership, but this isn't anything new, is it? No. These groups have gained power and lots of wealthy sponsors since Janus. We're doing all we can to make sure you have the tools you need to fight back. Our friends at the University of Oregon's Labor Education and Research Center joined us for our leadership summit to share their expertise in union groups with our chapter officers. We learned that the main groups behind these attacks are heavily funded by big employees who are afraid of worker power. Lurk walked us through organizing conversations aimed specifically at countering anti-union misinformation, which we turned into templates for anyone who missed the summit. We've heard that many of you wanted even more trainings, so that's why we are planning for even more next year, and we also have a follow-up training from Lurk later today for the whole floor. Water. Worksite organizers, we launched more resources for you too. We hold a monthly virtual training for new WSOs. It's perfect for current WSOs who want a refresher. I'm gonna take a drink of this one. I told you, 25 minutes. And there's a new virtual forum. I don't know if you've all heard of it, but it's called WISE. WSOs with ideas, issues, stories, and experiences. They meet every few months so WSOs can collaborate and support one another too. If you are a WSO, if you're thinking about becoming one, or if you just want to learn more about organizing, I encourage you to sign up for our training or forum. Outreach and organizing, supporting chapter leaders, building union skills, these efforts are all designed to strengthen our union. In the end, it's about improving the lives of our members. A strong union with an active, engaged membership is a force to be reckoned with. As our chapters grow and our members get more involved, we see results at the bargaining table. More than half of our chapters entered into some kind of bargaining this year. We have 138 divided by 2. I know there's math people in the room. That's a lot of chapters. 69. Shh. All right. They bargained for successor agreements, for limited reopeners, for specific sections on the contract. Although some chapters will continue bargaining into the summer, chapters have signed hundreds of contracts, memorandums of understanding, and letters of agreement. These documents are not just pieces of paper. They represent our hard-won fights and all of our rights. Each new agreement guarantees some kind of change for the better of our members. Our contracts this year include pay increases as high as 20%, higher employer contributions to health insurance and improved working conditions, and after making unprecedented legislative wins in recent years, chapters are working to incorporate new rights under Oregon law like just cause and access to IEPs into our contracts so that we can ensure they are implemented fairly. Can I just give one more round of applause for Just Cause, IEPs, unemployment? You guys, we did so much last year. I just need to say, yesterday, if you were here for the Work Shouldn't Hurt panel, we talked about how we do our interviews now for endorsements and how we talk to legislators and how we made a difference and how our stories make a difference and how people learning how to tell their story makes a difference. And I just want to say thank you so much to everyone who showed up in one way or another or made it possible for someone to show up to testify or to be part of those candidate endorsement those interviews, because they have to sit in our house and listen to our stories and tell us what they learned about us if they want our endorsement these days, right? That is huge. I know it's Sarah going off on that again, but I just want you guys to know how important it is that people see classified and that they see how essential we are to quality education. The same bill that clarified just cause protections that we won last year, which passed while we were here at conference, remain in place for all classified employees with no change for probationary periods. Education funding is always a priority, and testimony from OSEA members helped win $22 million in additional funding to protect our members who support services for children with special needs from birth to age 5. We also won $30 million for summer learning programs and made sure that essential services like transportation, nutrition, literacy, and culturally informed curriculum were eligible for summer learning grants. Just like at the bargaining table, it's our union that makes these wins possible. One person makes a small impact, but thousands of OSEA members sharing the same message, we are gonna be heard. We are gonna be heard. You thought I was gonna do it, right? Stand up. Stand up. Stand up. Chapter 1 really wanted that callback. All right. In fact, our voice is heard all the way in Washington, D.C. Our national affiliate, the AFT, has helped us get OSEA members from our Head Start chapters in the room with leaders from the Department of Health and Human Services and the Office of Head Start. We are making sure that policymakers know that Head Start staff keep being asked to be doing more with less. And we know programs can't fill positions, and ultimately it hurts the kids. It's just one example of OSEA members working together to address the issues we face as union members, and we can speak up and make a difference. We're never going to stop working for better schools and working conditions. OSEA members are already laying the groundwork for next year, when we will have an election and a full legislative session. Since last fall, members have been serving on candidate interview panels, speaking with individuals hoping to represent us at the state legislature about schools, education programs, workers' rights, work shouldn't hurt, and more. These interview panels allow us to identify our allies so our union can stand with candidates who will stand with us in return. And while we're on the subject, I encourage all of you and your chapter members to watch the e-news and other OSEA communications next year for information about the 2025 legislative sessions and the opportunities to share your story. Don't just watch the e-news, click on it, read it. It doesn't just play, right? Read it. The record-breaking wins at that came at the conference last year came from members like you standing up and being heard by legislators in Salem. Your voices make change happen for educators across the state, and I want to do more of that next year and I am fired up to do it, as you can tell right now. How about you? Are you ready to stand up? Stand up. Stand up. I'm loving this. All right, you guys. So we are at a turning point for OSEA and a labor organization across the country. After the Janus decision and the COVID pandemic, the world of labor is changing. And we have an incredible opportunity to shape the next phase of our movement. Those of you who have traveled to events with me outside of the state know that OSEA and Oregon are powerhouses in the labor movement, and we are leading the fight. I'm not denying that this moment has significant challenges. We survived a global pandemic to get hit with staffing shortages, funding cuts, tough working conditions, and more. We win historic legislation just to turn around and fight even harder to make sure it's implemented in our districts. Am I right? But we are still standing, and we are still fighting, and we are still speaking up for our members, and we will keep winning. We all get tired. That's okay. But when you start to get burnt out and run down, please turn to OSEA for help. That's what we're laying the groundwork for at conference. Of course, conference is when we take care of essential union business and set the course for the future of OSEA. But it's just as important that we have this time together to work, to have fun, to share meals, we love to eat, to learn, to laugh, and to enjoy the time together. If you've been a part of other OSEA conference, you know what I'm talking about. But I also see a lot of new faces out there, which is amazing. This year we have more than 80 first-time delegates. First-timers, would you please stand up? It gives me goosebumps. All right. Every time a new member steps up and gets involved, our union gets stronger. OSEA needs all of us, new members with fresh ideas and longtime members with experience. We all have an important role to play and something to contribute. I am so grateful and so glad that each and every one of you are here. This, here and now, is where we go from being a union to being a family. OSEA members are not all the same. Our jobs, our employers, our communities, our backgrounds are literally all over the map. But there is much, much more that unites us than divides us. When we get together for conference and other OSEA events, we meet members who live hundreds of miles away but share the same experiences as us, the same dedication to our work, and the same union spirit. OSEA members do our work because we care about our students and we want to help them thrive. And that's exactly why we are union members, because we care about our colleagues and our peers across the state. We want education employees everywhere to be respected, to be included, and to have what we need to thrive. In a world where educators might feel invisible, undervalued, ignored, kept in the dark, you name it. Being in a union means being seen and heard. When you speak up, your words don't fall on deaf ears. When you stand up, thousands of union siblings stand with you. Being an OSEA member means being part of a community, a family of educators and unionists who have your back. There is nothing more powerful than solidarity. We have just been through an incredible year. I just want to take a minute. I'm not going to make you stand up. Oh, stand up. Stand up. Stand up. Woo! All right, you guys, we're laying the groundwork for a better tomorrow and for a better future. And I want to thank you so much for being a part of our union. It is an honor to stand with you. We have had a lot of important business ahead of us this weekend, but when conference is over, we're going to go back to our chapters, ready to stand up, stand up, stand up. Let's go, OSEA.